let's do this workshop. We're going to do, this is pretty much other rewards. And this is stuff to give your character. You know, even this is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. And you can go to the Dungeon Master's Guide. It's on like page 225 or 26 is when it starts. But these are pretty much rewards that you can give your players. Besides magical items, I mean, sometimes, guys, gals, magical items get boring. I mean, sure, everybody loves. I mean, that's why people play the game, is for the camaraderie and shit like that. But people also want to get power. That's just a human trait. You want to become powerful, and you can do this with ways besides just giving them potions or magic items. I think so, anyway. I mean, you can give them supernatural, all these supernatural gifts, like blessings or charms. And that's what the DMG is telling you to do. A supernatural gift is a special reward granted by a being or force of great magical power. Such new supernatural gifts come in two forms, blessings and charms. A blessing is usually bestowed by a god or a godlike being, sort of like myself. No, I'm just kidding. Playing, no hate mail, please. Send it to Pathfinder. A charm is typically the work of a powerful spirit, a location of ancient magic, or a creature that has legendary actions. Unlike a magic item, a supernatural gift is an object and does not require attunement. So basically, if you kill the legendary, the vampire or the mummy lord or the Tarrasque or Tiamat or any type of adult dragon or ancient dragon. I'm trying to name all the legendary stuff in the Monster Manual. There's not many. But maybe you can give them a supernatural gift. Maybe put a rune on, if a character touches the rune that's floating above the corpse. Maybe it imbues them. That would be perfect. That would be awesome. Maybe give them something from the creature itself. That would be pretty cool to do. So let's take a look at the blessings first. And the blessings is pretty much, the DMG is telling you it could be a blessing from a deity or from doing something truly momentous. An accomplishment that catches the attention of both gods and mortals. And you can, has some examples here, and it has some other, information on, getting benefits. I don't want to read it word for word verbatim to you. It'd be too much reading, but, here's some examples provided below. Maybe if they touch the rune, maybe the rune, or the tome, T-O-M-E, the tome. Maybe if they touch the tome, maybe they get a blessing of health. It would raise their constitution score by 2. Maybe taking their maximum to a 22 instead of a 20. Pretty cool. Maybe a blessing of protection. You gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws. I like that. It's not too powerful. Blessing of magic resistance. You have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. That's pretty strong. Anything that gives you advantage is so freaking powerful in 5e. So powerful. Anything that has advantage. What would you rather have? A +1 bonus or roll twice and take the best? I'd rather roll twice and take the best. Blessing of understanding. Your wisdom score increases by 2 up to a maximum of 22. The blessing of Valhalla. This blessing grants you to summon, the power to summon spirit warriors, as if you had blown a silver horn of Valhalla, the magic item. And then once you use the blessing, you can't use it again for 7 days. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's really nice. Maybe a blessing of weapon enchantment. Maybe if they're maybe you killed like a mummy lord that was forging magic items. I don't know. And maybe you dip your weapon into the forge. That could act as one of these damn blessings. You dip your blade, your longsword blade, and you would get the blessing of weapon enchantment on that blade. Maybe a non-magical blade would become a +1 magic item, or if they have a +1, maybe give them a +2. The Blessing of Wound Closure. Ooh. This blessing grants you the benefits of a periaptive wound closure. Alright. There's the charms. Charms are little trinkets. Little gifts that can be gifts that can be received in a large variety of ways. Here's an example that I'm going to read to you from the book. Maybe a wizard who finds an Eldritch secret in a dead archmage's spellbook might be infused with the magic of a charm, as might a character who solves a Sphinx's riddle or drinks from a magic fountain. Legendary creatures such as ancient gold dragons and unicorns sometimes grace their allies with charms, and some explorers find themselves bearing the magic of a charm after discovering a long lost location that is drenched in primeval magic. So here's some examples of charms. Like I said, these are in the DMG. This is none that I made up. This is just ways to, kind of reward your characters besides the normal boring magic items. And I don't mean boring magic items in a negative way. I'm just saying do something else beside a magic item to reward your players. But I will, before we go to the charms, I do want to, I want you to, notice something. For the other rewards here, these are pretty powerful, rewards. But the DMG really recommends you to do this for level 20 characters. Me personally, I would do this pre-level 20, but that's just me. I mean, honestly, how many games are you going to be in, or how many games are you going to run where your characters get to level 20? It's not going to happen. Let's look at it realistically here. How many campaigns end up at level 20 from level 1? I'd say less than 1% of campaigns. Most of the campaigns are probably between 1 and 7, 1 and 5. Unless you actually start at like 15 and go to 20. Sure, then the percentage would go up. But I really would think that a good solid number to base this on would be, if you're going exactly by the book, for boons and, charms and blessings, if you go to level 20, yeah, you're not taking advantage of this, because you're not going to get to level 20. That's the whole thing. Alright, so I would do these. In fact, I'm going to probably start doing some of these in my Princes of Apocalypse and my Orcus campaign. I'll probably start doing these. Not at, I'm not going to do something with advantage, like all attacks are going to have advantage from here on out. But maybe give the fighter maybe a +1 to AC, or maybe the wizard +1 to AC. Or maybe just giving the ability to raise a stat to 22 without even giving the stat. That would make people spend their ability score improvements just to go over 20. I mean, that's something to think about also. Granting them the ability to go over 20. There's nothing saying that you can never have a character go above 20. Sure, you can go to 20, you can go to 30 with magical items. So, why don't you let the players do it? These charm, maybe make a charm that will allow your constitution to be 2 over cap. If they don't have maybe if they don't have the charm on them, if they lose the charm, if it gets stolen from them, then they lose that ability. Simple as that. Alright, so here we go, back with the charms again. Here's some examples of charms. The charm of animal conjuring. This charm allows you to cast the Conjure Animals spell, which is the 3rd level version, as an action. Once used 3 times, the charm vanishes from you. That's pretty cool. I like that. But you can do that with more than just animal conjuration. You could do it with Magic Missile. Why not? Why not give the wizard? I know there's a wand of Magic Missile, but why not give him like an orb or a sphere of Magic Missile? You're the DM. Make anything up. Charm of Dark Vision. This charm allows you to cast a Dark Vision spell as an action, no components required. Once used 3 times, charge goes away. Maybe give someone a charge of Dark Vision, a charm of Dark Vision, not Dark Vision, yeah, Dark Vision, but do other things with it too. Make them have sort of like the, you see in Shades of Grey. Maybe you see in Shades of Blue. Kind of spice it up a little bit. But yeah, sorry about that. That's a charm of Dark Vision. Kind of a sputter there for a second. Hey, there's a charm of feather falling. This charm grants you the benefits of a ring of feather falling. These benefits last for 10 days, after which the charm vanishes from you. Alright, cool. I like it. Charm of heroism. This charm allows you to give yourself the benefit of a potion of heroism as an action. Once you do this, the charm vanishes from you. So there's one-use charms, there's multi-use charms, there could be permanent charms like I was talking about, where you get a +2 permanently to your constitution. But if you lose the charm, you lose it. Maybe put something on maybe put something on there is, maybe if you make a constitution saving throw, you can use your charm to make the constitution saving throw with advantage. Maybe put 3 charms on it, 3 charges on it, and then once the 3rd charge is used, destroy it. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do, guys, gals. I mean, just don't look for things in a book. Make things up. Use the book as a base, and just kind of mold stuff around it. The Charm of Restoration. This charm has 6 charges. You can use an action to expend some of its charges to cast one of the following spells: Greater Restoration, 4 charges, or Lesser Restoration, 2 charges. Once all of its charges have been expended, the charm vanishes. Boom, blows up. No damage, of course, but here's the Charm of the Slayer. 1 sword in your possession becomes a Dragon Slayer, Giant Slayer. DM's choice. For the next 9 days. That would be awesome. If you know that you have to go fight, Tiamat, or maybe if you have to go fight, that would be perfect for the Rise of Tiamat. Or maybe you're going to go fight the Mummy Lord. Put the Charm of the Slayer. It doesn't have to be for a Dragon Slayer. Put it Mummy Lord Slayer. Put Vampire Slayer. Put any kind of Slayer on there. It doesn't have to be just Dragon or Giant. So, these are just general, ideas for you to craft everything that you want for your game. Charm of Vitality. This charm allows you to give yourself the benefit of a potion of vitality as an action. Once you do so, the charm vanishes from you. So, okay, there's a lot of 1 use, there's a lot of charges, there's a lot of 3 use things. There can be permanent things. Holy cow, there's a lot of different charms you can do. How about, let's talk about marks of prestige. There's all kinds of different marks of prestige. Letters of recommendation, medals, general, I salute you. Parcels of land, special favors, special rights. You can get strongholds and titles. This stuff's awesome. Sometimes the most memorable reward for adventurers is the prestige that they acquire throughout a realm. Their adventures often earn them fame and power, and lots of boring magical items. They kill lots of allies and enemies, and titles that they will get they can pass on to their descendants. Some lords and ladies began as commoners who ventured into the dangerous places of the world and made names for themselves through their brave deeds. This next section of marks of prestige goes into the details with the most common marks of prestige that adventurers might acquire during a campaign. These marks are usually gained along with treasure, but sometimes they stand on their own. Pretty cool. One that comes up to my mind is this Parcels of Land. Pretty cool. In all my games, I always try to give my players sort of like a home base. I did that in my Dragon Age game. They had a farmstead. They built the farmstead up. The game didn't last too long because it just didn't last. But they still had a section of land. My very first game ever, they had a room at the Moonstone Tavern in Neverwinter. Moonstone Mass Tavern. They had a room there. My 4th edition game, they were stationed in the town of Loudwater. I try to give all of my games the opportunity to have something that they can have and call their home, store stuff without having to, worry about getting it stolen and stuff like that. So, Parcels of Land was the first thing that came to my mind. And that would be basically a mark of prestige. And how my 4th edition group got it was they defeated High Shaman Sankasag, which was the in the DMG1 for 4th edition, and they had to kill High Shaman Sankasog and the resurrected ogre, missing the arm. That was awesome. We played that out really good. And after they defeat, because they kept torturing and attacking the small town of Loudwater. So after they took care of the High Shaman Sankasog, they were rewarded with one of the bandits' lairs. They actually, as they were adventuring, and before they took out the High Shaman Sankasog, they actually found a cell of bandits that were selling slaves to, I believe, the Serpent people, the Nagas that were in the Serpent Hills. So that was sort of like another plot that I had put into the game. And once they took these bandits out, then, you know, the leader of, what was her name? Lady Moonfire, I think. Lady Moonfire, how do I remember all this shit? I have no clue. But Lady Moonfire, and this is like a year and a half ago, probably, or at least a year ago. But Lady Moonfire, after a little bit of time, she actually rewarded the group this building that the bandits they had as their stronghold. So, you know, my group, I let them have it. I offered it to them as part of a mark of prestige from the town of Loudwater, and that's where their base of operations was. And then they micromanaged that base. It was really cool. So marks of prestige. How about letters of recommendation? Let's go over some of these, shall we? So when gold is in short supply, the adventurer's benefactor might provide them with a letter of recommendation instead of some type of monetary payment. And such a letter is usually enclosed in a handsome folio case or scroll tube for safe transport, and it usually bears a signature and seal of whoever gave him this recommendation. So, and you can do whatever you want for this recommendation. You can give it as, when you go to Waterdeep, see this bank or see this bank in Waterdeep, and then so there will be another adventure getting their reward. So that would be pretty cool. Not just you travel to Waterdeep and bam, you get your money, here it is. Kind of defeats the purpose of the letter of recommendation, but maybe put your group, give them the letter of recommendation for 20,000 gold. I mean, there's a lot of nobles that aren't going to have 20,000 gold lying around in gems and gold and platinum and stuff. Or maybe give them astral diamonds. I mean, even though astral diamonds aren't in 5th edition, why can't you put them in 5th edition? If you're in the Forgotten Realms, put astral diamonds in your game. They're expensive as shit. They're like 10,000 gold per astral diamond. Maybe it might be a little bit less than that for 5e. You'd have to do the conversions, because I know the monetary conversions are a little different from 4 to 5, but just convert it. It'd be easy. And you could do something like that. Give them a voucher for X amount of gold and astral diamonds. Pretty cool. Give them medals. You can give them medals. You can give them medals and maybe make the medals charms. Give them medals, for becoming a king of a town. Maybe you could role play out an entire, one king versus another king. They're both proclaiming that they're kings of this town. Maybe you could role play all of the different politics out. And the winner gets the medal, and then the medal gives you the certain power or whatnot. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And it doesn't have to, it's like the DMG says, the medals doesn't have to give you an in-game benefit. It would just, it would give you some type of social standing in a major town. Like, maybe the medal would grant you a really huge bonus as becoming maybe one of the masked lords of Waterdeep. And then that could be a whole nother adventure. Maybe the lords of Waterdeep are probably trying to undermine themselves. Well, they're always trying to undermine each other anyway. They're trying to find out who they are. Some know who the other mass lords are, and some don't know who they are. So maybe you could take an adventure and spin the medal into maybe a mass lord of Waterdeep. I mean, you could do all kinds of different things. Talk about the parcels of land again. I mean, this is like what I had mentioned. I did this in every one of my, every one of my games I've tried to give them something. And here's special favors. A reward might come in the form of a favor that the characters can call on at some future date. Special favors work best when the individual granting them is trustworthy. And then it goes into all the different alignments and stuff. I mean, that would be cool. I mean, it would be awesome to do something like that. Maybe they help Drizzt Do'Urden. I know everybody's tired of hearing about Drizzt, but depending on the time of the game as well, because obviously a lot of these heroes have died, like Wolfgar and Regis the Halfling, and all of these other big Forgotten Realms heroes. But maybe you can give them a reward for maybe a spirit of one of these big heroes, and bring one of these big heroes into the game. I remember my first game I ever did. Oh my God. And you could watch this on YouTube. This is crazy. I actually brought Drizzt, Guinevere, Caddy. I brought Regis the Halfling, Elemenster, and I believe Wolfgar. And goddamn, who was the dwarf? Oh my gosh, how can I forget the dwarf's name? But anyway, you guys, Wolfgar's father, basically. Yeah, is it Wolfgar's father? I think so. But anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I forgot his name. But I brought all those NPCs in for one fight. It was so fun. And everybody was like, holy crap, is that really Drizzt? I was like, yeah, it is. And it was corny. It was corny as shit. But hey, players like that kind of stuff. So that would be pretty cool to do some kind of, yeah, Bruenor Battlehammer. Thanks, Vane. Yeah, thanks KTS and thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, Bruenor Battlehammer. I brought all those in there, so it was fun. It was fun for the players. I wanted to see, what their expression would be, and they really liked it. Zovia was in that game. I don't even know if she remembers that, but yeah, they were going for basically a dark elf is who they were looking for. That actually had bad business, shady business with Menza Baronzon, and they were looking for him, and so was Drizzt and everyone else. And of course, this is it wasn't even the appropriate time, but yeah, I just did that. It was something fun. So, but I mean, you can here's special rights. A politically powerful person can reward characters by giving them special rights, which are usually articulated in some sort of official document. Here's an example. Characters might be granted special rights to carry weapons in public places. Maybe have mounts in, maybe you can have a horse in Baldur's Gate. Maybe that could be a special right, because there's really, you can't have any horses or transportation in Baldur's Gate. So maybe you could give them a special right to travel through Baldur's Gate, even though it's really not that travelable because of how it's made. But maybe they could do something like that. I mean, hell, why not? Maybe weapons in public places, mounts in public places, kill enemies of the crown, or negotiate on the Duke's behalf. Maybe you could be the emissary of maybe Bruenor or one of the other big characters, or maybe one of the new 5e Sundering characters that are starting to come to the forefront for the Forgotten Realms. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff with that. Special rights, and then the special rights, they only last as a legal document dictates. Can't go out of bounds on that, and it can be revoked. So if if the characters abuse the power, the dungeon master just dissipates the special rights. Yeah, you can. Wee Willie, of course you can walk through Baldur's Gate, but you can't ride a mount or take a wagon or anything through there. Wee Willie. Trolling me. Strongholds. Give them a stronghold. Why not? So kind of strongholds and land, kind of the same thing. But I mean, if you want to get, like I gave them a stronghold. They had a banded stronghold. There's all kinds of there's in the Dungeon Master's Guide, I think in chapter 6, There's a bunch of different maintenance costs. If you want henchmen, if you want forges, if you want this, all this, there's all kinds of stuff that you can micromanage with your stronghold. So, you can give them a stronghold as a reward to your seasoned, hardy group of adventurers. Why not? Do it. Do it. Why not? There's no rule saying you can't. Maybe you want to give them titles. That would be cool too. A politically powerful figure has the ability to dispense titles. A title often comes with a parcel of land, so you can link them together. For example, a character may be rewarded the Earl of Stone River or Countess of Dunfjord, along with a parcel of land that includes a settlement or region of the same name. Then you can give them a stronghold, so you can knock 3 out for the price of 1. Damn. That would be... People want that kind of stuff. Do it. Why not? Characters can have more than 1 title, it says. Well, there you go. So there's a lot of things that you can do besides just magic items. And that's pretty much what this is for. And, I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I'll just look something up. I'll just kind of look around in the book and go, I think I might go ahead and just give him a magic item. But kind of think about that, though. I mean, what would you want if you were a player? Wouldn't you want variety? I would. Our DM, when I was a kid, we had 2 DMs. My friend Terry and my friend James. We basically just got magic items. We didn't get the land. We didn't get, but, it was all about, dungeon crawling and stuff. And there was some RP, but I'm talking, this is like Tomb of Horrors and shit like that. So the game has evolved so much. So many more ideas have been brought up, have been thought of, have been put in text, in books, and take advantage of them. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do with these other rewards. I like this. This is a great idea. I'm glad this is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Stuff like this needs to be in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and that's why they did such a great job with the 5e Dungeon Master's Guide. I can't stress how good the Dungeon Master's Guide is in 5e. It's probably one of the best DMGs that they ever made. It's really good. Really good. And I have them. I have them all. So, but there you go, guys. That is the workshop for the night.